We are live in the pits of metal chaos with your host Dave, special guest all the way from Sweden, Andy LaRocque from King Diamond. How are you, Andy?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you guys? All right? All cool?
Hopefully everybody's doing good with, the crazy times we're having in the world these days.
Yeah, all is good. You just have to be careful, and, keep the distance and, be careful about everything nowadays, It's a little different situation, of course, for everyone, but we're doing good over here.
Yeah, hopefully this all end soon and you be able to do some concerts again.
Yeah, I don't know when that's going to be, though. No one knows, so we'll see about that.
So 30 years with King Diamond, huh, Andy?
Yes, 35 years.
35.
We started 1985. Very close to this date, actually, 1985. When I was asked to come down to Copenhagen to do an audition with the band. So I guess in a few days I'll celebrate that.
Wow, did you ever think when you joined King Diamond's band that you would be in the band for this many years?
I had no clue about that. Nobody knew that, but it's been a great time, definitely with a lot of really good experience, and great things happen, and yeah, definitely. A lot of great music, great albums, and great experiences. Traveling around the world, see new places, meet a lot of people, of course, it's been a great time and just flew by,
Yeah.
35 years, who could imagine?
Yeah, a lot of just awesome albums, and the Institute comes out this year.
We're still working on writing songs, and so far I think from my side I have around maybe 4 or 5 songs, and now we're just waiting for King to get his ideas down on the computer, and I know he's working on it, definitely. He's got a lot of ideas in his mind, of course, and as soon as he starts, recording it with the computer to have some demo ideas for it, I'm going to put some guitars on it, and we'll get going from there. It took some time, definitely, to get the ideas for this album, because since King came back from his heart disease back in 2012, we've been doing a lot of shows, concerts, tours, and a lot of other things with the band. So we really didn't have time to sit down and compose, and especially not recording anything, So, but I mean, I have some ideas, that I collected for many years, actually. So going back to that and check it out if there is anything of that we can use. But mostly it will be new material, of course, I had the latest song I sent to King as a demo version was one song that I came up with during the last US tour in November and December. And he really liked that one, So that's probably going to be probably going to end up on the coming album.
Yeah. So after all these years, Andy, what still keeps you passionate about the music?
One more time, I couldn't really hear you.
I said, after all these years, what still keeps you passionate about doing music?
Yeah, it is what I said earlier. I love the music. I love to write music, and I love the style that we have in King Diamond. And I still love to travel after all these years. I still love to meet new people, get new experiences. It's a combination of all that, of course,
Yeah, I remember when Fatal Portrait was released, I ran out to the record store, bought the vinyl album, played it all. That was one of the greatest albums to listen to.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, those were the days.
And then I was fortunate enough to go see the band at the Metro in Chicago for that tour.
All right, yeah. Together with Megadeth, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. I still got some photos from that time.
Yeah, that was a very good show.
Yeah.
anytime the King plays live, you guys always put on a great show.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, the last show we did in the U.S., I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but people thought it was really good, everything was well performed, people said that, the band never sound better, and King's voice was really, really good, and we had a great time, so, I mean, all that reflects in, when you walk out on the stage and having a good time, of course, so, yeah, getting better and better, believe it or not.
Now, do you have a favorite tour with King Diamond?
A favorite tour?
Yeah.
I would say probably, one of the first tours, because that was a new experience for us all, and everything was new. But also, I would say the last tour I thought was really good, I mean, everything went pretty smooth, and yeah, great places. So, yeah, the last tour was really good, I think.
Now, do you have any solo work coming out?
Pardon, one more time?
I said, do you have any solo work in the works?
Not really. A few years back I was working with Tony Martin, who was in Black Sabbath for many, many years. But then when we started working with King Diamond again, that all kind of turned into, we put that on ice, I can say, but we still got a few songs with that, but it's not really a solo album. It's more like a project thing than, or a band thing, so we'll see. Maybe one day we pick that up again, but no really solo thing coming up, People ask me about that all the time, but, I don't know. I have songs, but not in the mood to put a complete album together yet. Yeah. It might come.
Now, are you still producing bands these days?
Oh, yes. When this Corona thing happened a few months ago, I had to do some rescheduling, bands called me and said, hey, we're going to move that a little bit, but I still, now they're coming back, and I actually have a lot of bands coming into the studio this fall. So it'll be a busy fall, hopefully, And right now I'm just trying to enjoying the great summer we have here in Sweden. It's actually beautiful outside, and great weather. And I still have some projects here during the summer, but it's not like super busy. But it will be this fall, that's for sure. Bands like, I finished off bands like Falconer that will release their album, I guess, in a few weeks. Turned out to be a really good album. And before that, I produced an album called The Black Magic Fools. And later coming in this year would probably be At the Gates, for example, and some other bands, Swedish bands mostly. I'm mixing a few American bands too later this summer. So, yeah, it's busy, I guess, when you can't come out and play in the way you did like just a few months ago, you write songs and you have to find a place to record it. So I guess, here I am. And, yeah, people send me mixes too. So there's a lot of things going on in the studio, which I'm really grateful of course.
Yeah, that's good that you keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
So, Andy, at what age did you pick up the guitar?
Pardon? One more time, please?
At what age did you pick up a guitar?
How often?
No, what age? How old were you when you started playing?
What age I was when I started playing?
Yes.
I think, I'm sorry about that because sometimes you cut off, I can't really hear you. That's why, well, I think, the first time I picked up the guitar, I was around 12 years old. And then when I was about maybe 14, I really started to practice. And a few years later, when I heard Randy Rhoads with Ozzy Osbourne, I was really kind of in shock because I thought it was so amazing and so great. And back then I really, sat down with the guitar and practiced for real, So I started around 12 years old, picked up the guitar, but a lot of other things happened at that time, of course, but seriously, when I first heard Randy Rhoads with Ozzy Osbourne.
Now, were you self-taught or did you take lessons?
No, I'm self-taught. when I was younger, I would think it was maybe 12 or 13 years old. I took some lessons, but that was more like in styles that I didn't like. I want to play rock, and these people were not into that at all, So I think I went for lessons maybe 2 times, and then it's like, oh, this is not for me. So I'm self-taught, listening to albums, and I guess I trained my ear that way.
Now, did you play in any other band prior to King Diamond?
Yeah, man. I've been doing a lot of guest things, but before King Diamond, I played in some local bands. I played in the band with Mickey D here in Gothenburg for a short while too. That's why we got to know each other before I joined Diamond, actually. And that was mostly local bands, But I did some guest appearance with Dimmu Borgir, In Flames, Death, Chuck Schuldner's Death, and Hammerfall. A lot of guest appearances with that, But not that I've been in any other band except for King Diamond for the last years.
Now, currently, do you have any endorsements?
Yes, we work with Line 6 for our live performances. I think they really make great amps. And we're using the Helix amps for live purposes. And I'm also endorsed by Seymour Duncan pickups, which always been a great favorite. And I'm playing ESP guitars now for a few years back, which I think is just amazing. Really good stuff.
Now, after all these years, Andy, how many guitars do you own now?
To be honest, I don't know.
Too many?
Too many? Well, you can't not get too many guitars, right? But I think I got, it's not that much really. Well, it's a lot of guitars, but what I'm currently using is the ESPs because, you just pick it up out of the case and it sounds amazing. So a total of old guitars and some new guitars, it's probably around 30 guitars, something like that.
Now, what do you enjoy most about being a musician?
Pardon? One more time?
What do you enjoy most about being a musician?
I guess it's the creative part, definitely, to write music, Yeah, and also, of course, being a musician and do what we do, like the touring we do with all the experience that's involved there, but also being a musician and be able to produce other bands and have that musician ear, if you know what I mean. That's really helpful, of course,
Now, what do you hate about being a musician?
Pardon? One more time?
What do you hate about being a musician?
Being hate. Oh man. No, I don't think I hate anything about that. I think it's mostly good, actually, being a musician.
Now, if you were able to change anything in the music industry, what would you change?
Oh, that's a really tricky question. I don't really know what to change there. There are a lot of things, but I can't really think of one thing right now. So I think I just have to pass on that one.
All right. What do you think are the pros and the cons of the music business?
Oh, that's also a pretty tricky question, The pros is probably that you get a lot of good experience, meeting a lot of people, and you get a chance to tour often. And the cons will probably be that you want to reach out to a lot of people, which you sometimes don't, especially with younger bands that are really talented, and it's hard to reach out, to the market. and it's really hard to make money too, sometimes, so that's the bad thing about it, I guess.
Now, are there any musicians out there that you would love to collaborate with someday?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of really good musicians out there. I can't really think of one now, but it would be great to produce a bigger band, in the studio, and also work with other musicians that you can't really think of. That would be great. But I can't really pick one right now.
All right, now besides Randy Rhoads, who are some of your other guitar influences?
One big influence is also Michael Schenker. I think Steve Vai is a great guitarist, and also Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah. Now, what is the weirdest or funniest question you've ever been asked?
Oh man, one of the funny things that often comes up is like, does King really sleep in a coffin? Yeah, of course he does. He's a vampire.
All right, now Andy, if you can have your fans, if you could have your fans remember one thing about you, what would you want that to be?
Hopefully, a good guitarist, great musician, and a fun person. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Yeah, a great musician.
Now, do you think you can get any better as a musician? And if so, how would you achieve that?
Of course, you can always get better, sometimes you just feel that, okay, I'm good at what I'm doing, so I'm just keeping that level. But of course, if you practice a lot and listen to other musicians, you have a lot to learn, that's for sure, But, as long as you have found your style, which I think I did, you don't really need to progress in, a lot of different, ways or directions. So at the point now, I'm pretty happy with the style I have, but of course you can always get better, that's for sure.
Now, do you teach guitar?
Pardon?
Do you teach guitar?
I did when I was younger, but not anymore, because I don't really have the time to do it anymore, People ask me frequently if I have like online, video sessions or, sessions in general, but, I say, no, I'm sorry, I don't really have time for that now, I'm focusing on writing good music and producing other bands, and, so, yes, no.
Now thinking about any of the tours you've done with King Diamond, do you have a funny or embarrassing moment on stage that you can talk about?
Yeah, there are always happening things. I remember one of the first tours we did, that was something happened, that I didn't even notice myself, but that was in Austin, Texas. And I was just inches away from getting like a light rig in all over me, actually. I, went forward on stage, and right behind me there was this, big pile of spotlights, falling down to the stage floor just behind me, That was a crazy thing, So a few things happened, on tour, of course, but that was one of the things that I didn't notice myself, that could have been really dangerous,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you have any favorite cities to play at in the United States?
I think that depends on the audience itself, I mean, the audience makes it a favorite place, It's really hard to say, that really depends on the overall feel, so every city is great to play in, depending on the audience.
Well, how about venues? Any favorite venues?
We played some really good venues last time in the U.S., like San Francisco, the Warfield, I believe it's called. And also the theater we played in L.A. last time was really good. And, of course, the one you mentioned in Chicago, what's the name? Oh, God, I can't remember.
The Vic?
Yeah, the venue in Chicago. God. The bigger place that we used to play, like an old theater. I mean, there are really cool venues. And we played a really good place in New York, too, last time, so there are a few really good venues,
Yeah.
And old theaters, if it's big enough, is usually really cool and atmospheric for us to play in,
Yeah, I think the last time you guys played Chicago was the Riviera?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what's your what is your fondest memory of your music careers?
The funniest memory
of your music career?
Oh man. Oh man, that sounds kind of weird. No, I don't really know. I can't really tell.
All right. Let me change it like this. What is the fondest memory of playing in King Diamond?
Oh, crazy things. Let me see if I can pick one. Oh man, there are so many things I can't even think about it right now. There's a lot of crazy things happening.
Well, what's one of the?
Can I pass that one, please?
Well, there has to be one that stands out most to you. Yeah, one memory that stands out the greatest to you.
What will that be? It's just spinning around in my head trying to find one. No, I'm sorry. I got to think about that. I'm sorry. I can't really pick one right now.
Now, what do you think about social media?
What I think about it?
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing, of course, because it makes it easier to reach out to people, in a fast way. So I think it's good, Sometimes you can feel really stressed about it, you gotta, check out what everyone else is doing and stuff, which of course can be a little stressful sometimes, but of course, it's a good thing, I mean, it's totally changed everything, in a few years. So in general, yes, I think it's good.
Yeah, because back in the 80s, you had to do all the tape trading.
Yeah, exactly. Tape trading, yeah. And that was a good thing itself, back then, and the old school, phones and stuff, Now you're like, you can reach out to people instantly on your smartphone, So it's definitely changed the market, Good and bad.
Yeah, it's bad that all the music's online now and people aren't buying albums as much anymore.
Yeah.
That's one of the downfalls.
Yeah, that's right. Makes it much easier now, to copy stuff and spread it out, which is, sometimes good, sometimes really bad.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on illegal downloading?
Pardon, one more time?
I said, what are your thoughts on illegal downloading?
Yeah, of course, I don't like it at all. Of course not. I think it's a really bad thing. It's just hard to stop. So yeah, it's really hard to stop. But that's also, makes the musicians that worked hard, for writing the music, makes them, earn less money, which is a bad thing,
So I hear you have a dog barking over there, huh?
Pardon? One more time?
I said I hear your dog barking.
Yeah, it's a small dog called Gibson Les Paul Jr.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, so Andy, I'm going to ask you a few more questions. These are the fun questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
What is your favorite food to eat?
My favorite food?
Yeah.
I like Mexican food, Indian food, Japanese food, and sometimes a really good steak.
Nice. Now, what is your favorite drink?
Favorite drink would probably be gin and tonic.
Now, how about if it's a non-alcoholic drink?
Pardon, one more time?
What about if it's a non-alcoholic drink? What's your favorite?
I guess it would be water or just a Coke.
Now, do you have a top three favorite bands of a lifetime?
Favorite bands of the lifetime? I would say Black Sabbath, UFO, and Thin Lizzy.
Very nice. What was the first metal concert you ever went to?
The first metal concert, I think it might have been either, well, if you can call it metal, but that was probably Status Quo back in 1975 or maybe 76, I believe. And right after that, I went to Blue Oyster Cult during their On Your Knees or On Your Feet tour back in 1976.
Now, what musical artists inspire you? It doesn't have to be guitar players, just musical artists in general. What musical artists inspire you?
I would say the glam rock back in the 70s, like Sweet and Slade, Alice Cooper, things like that, and also, of course, Black Sabbath and to a certain extent Kiss in the very beginning. I thought it was great, Uriah Heep, that kind of style,
Now, who do you think started heavy metal?
Pardon, one more time?
What band do you think started heavy metal music?
What band? That's hard to say, but I would say maybe Deep Purple was one of the band, and definitely Black Sabbath.
Yes, Black Sabbath for sure.
Yeah.
Tony Iommi, that guitar sound.
Oh yes. Yeah. Yes, I mean, he's still the master, man. After so many years, he still delivers. Great band, great musician, definitely.
Okay. Well, Andy, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do an interview.
Hey, thank you. I hope we can come over soon, to the States so people can, see our live show and listen to our music.
Yeah, well, thank you again, Andy. You have any more final words you want to do before we close?
No, I just hope we can meet our fans soon again, and hope this COVID-19, disappears so we can get back to normal.
Yes. Well, thank you again, Andy. You have a great day and you stay safe, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
And Dave.
Yes.
You will edit some of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, because, I had a really hard time hearing you, actually. I don't know why, but you cut out and it was like distorted, and just sounded very, very bad. So, just so you know.
Right. Okay, you have a great day, Andy.
Hey, that's cool, Dave. You take care, man, and go to sleep.
Okay. Bye.
That's cool. Take it easy. Bye.
Bye-bye.